Hey everyone, can I ask you something? Are you actually wearing the full armor of God? Not just knowing about it, but living in it daily. Because in Ephesians 6:10 through 18, Paul gives us really a survival guide for spiritual battles that we all face. And those battles you and I are facing, they're real, they're personal, and they're spiritual. Paul reminds us to be strong in the Lord. Because if you're trying to stand on your own strength, you're going to fall. And in verse 12, Paul hits us with this major truth bomb. He says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. That means your fight isn't with your coworker, with your family member, the financial stresses of life. That means the real enemy is behind the scenes. A spiritual force is trying to drain you, your joy, your hope, rob you of your peace. And if you don't recognize that, you'll spend all of your energy fighting the wrong enemy. Paul says, maybe that's the wrong word. He's passing on God's command to put on the full armor, so when, not if, the day comes, you'll be able to stand. The evil day is coming if it isn't already here. And as I was thinking about the armor of God, something came to me. There is no backplate for the armor. Nothing on our back. The belt, the breastplate, the shield, the helmet, and the sword, they're all forward facing. Why is that? Because God didn't design you and I to run. You see, running away is a retreat. It exposes us. By standing in faith, it covers us. William Gurnall once wrote in his book, The Christian in Complete Armor, he who would fight and not be overcome must not leave his armor behind. If you'd like to read his work, I'll put a link in the description where you can find it for free. I remember a season when I was overwhelmed by grief and darkness. Everyone tried to love me, but I couldn't receive it. Maybe y'all understand what it's like walking through the dark tunnel. All I wanted was to escape, to retreat from the problem. But then God reminded me the real battle wasn't around me, it was within me. It was a spiritual battle. And slowly, as I put each piece of armor on, I found His strength again. Not to fight back, but to respond with grace, not fear. Let's take a walk through the armor, not just as a list, but kind of as a questionnaire of our daily lifestyles, and see if it can provide any insight to you. The belt of truth. Are you anchoring yourself in what God says or in what the world says? Without truth, nothing else holds together. The breastplate of righteousness. Are you walking in obedience or living in compromise? Just to be clear, it's not about being perfect. It's about repenting quickly and protecting your heart. The shoes of peace. Are you ready to share the gospel? Are you grounded in peace, even when the path is rocky. You see, peace keeps you from stumbling on every little thing. This is very hard today, when it seems like the world's job is to steal our peace. The shield of faith. Are you lifting your shield of faith when the enemy is throwing fear, doubt, discouragement? Faith says, I see the problem, but I trust God more. Do you have the helmet of salvation on? What's protecting your thoughts? Are you remembering, hey, I am saved, I am forgiven, I am His? Or are you letting guilt and the world run the show? The sword of the Spirit. Are you using Scripture, not just reading it? When the enemy whispers lies, respond with, it is written. Are you staying connected to God, listening and interceding for others? You see, prayer is our lifeline. It keeps us battle ready. Let me be clear. The Bible doesn't tell you to win. It tells you to stand. Some of y'all may ask, why are we told just to stand? And here's the little secret. Because Jesus already won the battle. You're not fighting for victory. You're fighting from victory. And that's the difference. And that's just the beginning of this series. In the coming weeks, we're going to look at real people within the Bible and how they either wore or failed to wear the full armor of God. We'll explore David, a man of deep faith who stood tall in battle. Peter, who fought his armor, fell and got back up again. Esther, a quiet warrior who stood in peace and obedience. Samson, a strong in body but unguarded in spirit. Daniel, faithful in the culture of compromise. Job, who wore the armor even as the world fell apart. Nehemiah, who built with one hand and fought with the other. Paul, the man who lived what he preached. And of course, Jesus, our perfect example of what it looks like to stand fully armored. You see, each of these stories will help us see the armor of God, not just as a metaphor, but as a spiritual necessity for the life we're called to live. So let me ask you, which piece of the armor do you need to strengthen today? Will you leave a comment below? And let's build each other up. And if this video spoke to you, please share it with your friends. Someone else needs to be reminded that they're not fighting alone. Hit that like and subscribe button and keep walking forward, fully armored, fully loved. God bless.